Star Wars introduces a transgender Jedi. That's cool. Sounds like a good thing. Literally zero context about this, except for the person who made the video, Isaac Butterfield. 1.56 million subscribers. Basically oh, fuck me. I went, God damn it. I went to the dark side. One second. We're back, baby. So yeah, basically what we've got here is someone who used to be funny, and then they stopped being funny, so they started talking a lot of shit on trans people and complaining that, oh, the culture war PC police is cracking down too hard on free speech because I can't make jokes about trans people and minorities. This should be a fun time. Totally ready for a trans inclusive talk about how this is awesome representation, and this is gonna be a shit show, fam. So let's just get right the fuck into it.
Right, everybody, it's time for a test. We ready for a test? I love tests. The question is, to all of you, and who can answer me first, what does Star Wars need to do to take their films, their franchise, to the next level? That's what I want to know. Is it more like amazingly like choreographed like fight scenes? No. Incredible adventures to the outer reaches of space? God, no. Unbelievable like story arcs and characters that are like totally out of this world? Now you're on to something. Okay, you're on to something there. What Star Wars needs, kids, one of the oldest franchises and most successful franchises in all of film, what it needs is finally a transgender Jedi. Oh! Finally!
Y'all get the joke? Representation is bad because there are definitely other pressing things that we need. The problem with this logic is that, like, Star Wars and any franchise can do more than one thing to improve itself. If what you're concerned with is that a franchise isn't like improving its story or creativity or whatever the other things that this person listed off in the beginning, like it can do those things and also have more diverse casting. Why don't we go ahead and listen to more some wonderful comedy? It's so funny.
I know it's like 2020 and stuff and it's great and I don't have a problem with it, but why? Did anyone actually ask for it? How dare you ask why, you cis white male piece of shit! Oh my god, you people make me absolute.
This is a stupid argument and the straw man, and it's bad. No one with like good political views actually unironically believes that just because someone's like a cis white dude that you're inherently evil or whatever, right? The only argument, like the primary argument that's like in good faith is basically like, hey, you know, you come from a pretty privileged background. That's not like an inherently bad thing. It just like is what it is because intersectionality. And so being able to have like other diversity of backgrounds in a profession can be good because your perspective may be limited and can be supplemented with other people with differing experiences. All right, we're going to zip through this, all right?
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're doing not bad. Here's one for you. Lucasfilm reportedly wants to introduce a trans Jedi to the future Star Wars.
Based. Awesome.
Thank Christ! Can I just say thank fuck? It's about time! It should have happened years ago. This scene should have been completely different. Instead of Darth Vader carrying on about gender and telling Luke, who's gender non-binary, that he was his father, he should have definitely said, I am your gender-neutral biological provider of sperm cells. Which women could also have sperm cells. You bigot.
Hey, let's imagine that this took place about 20 or 30 years ago. And the situation was this. You know what? You know what I'm finally fucking happy about? That we're finally having some black people in representation. Because, you know, that's what we really needed in movies up until now, is we need some black people and some people of color, because, you know, white people just weren't good enough. No, we had to get some brown people in there to even this out a little bit, right? I mean, literally, this is kind of the argument that just like, oh, because some people might not care about having representation in media. Well, that must mean it's not that important of an issue. Like literally right now, the argument is just because some people might not care about this is inherently an argument that it's a bad idea. Which is shitty logic, because if that was the case, then like, we probably still wouldn't have like black people or fuck, even women in media, right? Like Sully, like back when that happened, can you imagine how people reacted were like, a woman, like a woman playing a detective role, doing that kind of role. She should, you know what? That's definitely what we needed. You know what she should have been doing? She should have been staying in the kitchen and working a secretary job like a good little girl, right? Like, just because some people don't want to see something in media is not an inherent argument against, like, its larger benefit, especially to the group that's being represented.
Yeah, this video is going to get a whole lot fucking weirder, so stick around. But before we do, this video is brought to you by the amazing people at Crush Organics. Crush Organics are amazing.
Do not
It's really
care.
great. I use it after the gym.
Do not care.
People freak out. Oh, it's made from the hemp plant.
This is a minute and a half.
Just
Oh
think
my
we
god.
tweeted something the other day about the gender pronouns. People who use he, him, she, her, and they put it in their Twitter bio. A little argument with this dude because he was talking shit about Joe Rogan. And I said, anyone with pronouns in...
Oh no, someone talking shit about Joe Rogan. Oh god. Bismay, the god. Who could ever imagine? If someone has their pronouns in their bio, their opinion is to be lolled at, dick/balls. Fam, y'all get the joke?
People freaked out about that. Are you transphobic? Yada yada. What I meant...
Yeah, he is. The answer to is he transphobic? The answer is yes, he is. You claim to not be homophobic but right wing, but you spend most of your time putting down soy boys and left wing ideas. You're no better than the high school bully, mate. Fucking true! Oh my god, even the things that he's citing are fucking cell phones.
What I mean by that is this dude right here was talking shit about Joe Rogan. He is obviously a man. He's not trying to transition. He is a man. It's the same with Camilla Harris. She's got she, her in her...
It is good for people who are even like pretty clearly perceived as the gender that they want to be in society to list what their pronouns are, because it shows solidarity with the trans community. Because there are some people who have pronouns and who have gender identities which are contrary to how they are perceived in larger society. So it helps normalize the practice of listing your pronouns, because as it turns out, that's a good thing to do.
The thing is, if you're trying to transition from male to female, female to male, whatever, and you want to have your gender pronouns there so you can tell people that you're this or you're that, fucking good on you, champ. It helps out. It's great, right? But if you're obviously a fucking fully grown man, it's like me having mine in there. You know what I fucking am. You know what I've got between my legs. Little fucking...
I genuinely do not believe that this guy is fine with trans people. Like, if he was fine, then he would not take this much issue with literally this all-star... Like, this is supposed to be a video about Star Wars, and, like, he's spent, like, the whole first part of it, aside from, like, the opening, like, bit, just kind of, like, trashing on, like, the use of pronouns, right? He's so angry about this. Yeah, I know, right? Like, why the fuck is it? Like, this is the thing, right? Like, why do people get so fucking angry about this, right? Like, it's such a fucking non-issue. Like, this dude's such a fucking snowflake. I'll fucking say it. Like, this is literally, like, the non-issue, like, the most non-issue thing fucking ever, right? Like, who the fuck cares if you're putting pronouns in your bio and if there's a trans character in Star Wars? Like, actually, I had to know. Like, who the fuck cares? It doesn't matter. Like, the fact that people are flipping the fuck out over this is such a, like, it shows me that they're so easily offended that I cannot even fathom how they can, like, sit, like, with themselves and actually think that this was a good video to put out and actually make a meaningful argument about on something that was apparently so relevant that they had to direct their audience of 289,000 people to watch. Like, why?
It doesn't need to be there. And that's why those type of people are the biggest pieces of shit on earth.
They're the real pieces of shit. I'm actually a wonderful golden boy. They're the real, they're not just pieces of shit. They're the biggest pieces of shit on earth. So Isaac, I know that you think that you're the messiah of trans people right now and that you're speaking on behalf of all trans people. I will tell you as a trans person that not only are they not the biggest pieces of shit on earth right now, but you are being the biggest piece of shit on earth right now, because they're doing things which are actually really inclusive and advocating for better rights and inclusion of me and people like me, and you're saying that that's bad. And I don't know about you, but, like, I prefer to, like, God fucking damn it! Ah! Whatever, you get the idea. You're just gonna have to deal with the fact that you can't see me. Hopefully my editor can do something fun with that. So let's just keep going.
Time, particularly on Twitter, someone will be talking shit about me. I go to their profile and it's got she, her, he, him, and I just go, what a fucking wanker. Ever since
I'm gonna say that if you have the position that anyone who has pronouns in their bio is like inherently laughable, that's not exactly coming across as the super woke ally that you think that you are. That's literally just kind of coming across as saying like, I don't understand this thing, but instead of actually trying to understand it, I'm going to just laugh at it and say that those people are not to be trusted. Okay, back. We're gonna zip through this. All right, I keep saying that we're gonna zip through this. We're gonna get through it.
Since Disney purchased the Star Wars franchise, the company has done a decent job with improving representation in the series. Oh, thank Christ. The latest trilogy of films was multicultural and with a strong female lead, while Rogue One, a Star Wars story, featured no white male protagonists. Oh, can I just say, seeing how there was no white male protagonists in that particular film, I just couldn't watch it, you know? I can't watch shows unless those people look exactly like me, because I freak out. I can't sit there and listen to a story unless they look exactly like me. Who cares? But even though Disney is attempting to make the Star Wars universe who gives a fuck if you root Princess Leia, but then you have to root Jar Jar Binks, right? And then everyone goes, well, I don't want to do that because I'm either gay or I'm straight and I don't want to have sex with both. And then one person in the back puts their hand up and goes, I'm bisexual and I'm included, so I'm going to fuck both of them and then we'll blow up the Death Star. That is the only situation where being bisexual would have anything to do with being on Star Wars.
Yeah, very funny.
Discussions about Star Wars universe versus same-sex kiss in The Rise of Skywalker, which ended up happening in the background. That was disgusting. They should front R2 vibrate in the past within the Star.
Okay, we're just gonna have the talk, right? Because I think I mean, like, unless there's like some much more intricate argument, which I'm not getting from what he's saying. Basically, what this comes down to is this question like, hey, is representation in media a good thing? And should we have more of it? And yeah, again, like I like to be able to talk about like the example from earlier with the X-Files, you know, like when you're able to have someone as a representation in media, whereas normally you're not able to have it, it's able to do a lot to be able to help people who are normally unrepresented in those forms of media, right? From earlier, we literally as a stream try to think of like the most amount of trans people that we could think of in like in larger media as like good role models. And I think that at best we could think of like 10, like literally, like that's the best that we could do as an entire stream put together. That's not great, you know? Because for me, I can't think of many role models in larger media, especially growing up, that I could look up to and think, oh yeah, that's someone who's like me and who I could grow up and aspire to be like. Like when I was growing up, I thought terrible things about myself because I didn't have really any good frame of reference to be able to understand what was going on with me, what was going on with my body, what was going on with my mind, right? And it was only until later when I was able to be exposed to larger influences or larger, examples of positive representation in media on the internet, and I was able to go to therapy, that I was able to finally figure out myself. But that wasn't until later in life, and I could have made some seriously bad decisions if I didn't have that exposure or those experiences along the way. Like being able to have more representation in media is incredibly, incredibly important. And to say that we shouldn't have representation in media or that it's just like a bad thing to do, I mean, like, this is such a non-issue. I don't know why people are getting fucking triggered about it. Like, it does not matter, all right? Like, this should only be positive. The fact that people are bending over backwards over this is just laughable to me. I think that this is symptomatic that this person literally has, like, nothing of substance to be able to contribute to larger discussion. They probably were funny at one point, and now all they can do is, like, laugh at minorities. There's really no arguments to be able to be that really need to be made there. But yeah, representation in media is good. Let's have more of it. And this person is like laughably, I mean, like wrong, but also just like laughable in general. Like the idea that you should just like immediately discredit anyone with pronouns in their bio, when those people are probably like literally doing those things to try and be like better advocates for trans people, and then to turn around and be like, actually, those people are the ones who are being discriminatory towards trans people. Like I'm gonna pull the trans person card and be like, yeah, that's 100% horseshit. Like 1000% horseshit. And I don't even need to use my pronouns in my bio. Like, people will gender me correctly. But I know by being a part of this community that it's good practice to do to be inclusive of other people so that we can make sure that everyone is referred to by the way that they are. Okay? Trans person in Star Wars. I didn't even know about this until this, but cool. Can't wait to hear about it. Hooray, capitalism. I guess that's really all there is to say.